Hey guys, Ultimate here, and we are working on this is a K series, but this truck is so old, so I'm gonna make this a universal type of video. But we have a bad AC compressor here, you guys. So I'm gonna show you guys how to replace the AC compressor, how to recharge it, redo some seals, and what we need to do. It's not gonna be a complete. I don't have like a vacuum pump on me, but we'll still get the job done, okay? So just to show you guys, if I'm not mistaken, the owner told me I think the seals blew around here and refrigerant shot out everywhere. So the first thing we're going to do here is that we need to make sure that there's no air or no pressure in this system. If you try to undo refrigerant lines when they have PSI in them, it'll explode out. It'll be pretty scary. So first thing we're going to do here is we're going to remove these lines. I'm pretty sure this is probably the low and this is the high based on the size of the fittings, but let's get some needles in here and make sure that these are free and have no pressure in them. So let's see here. Just gonna get my flathead in here. Okay, usually when you let out the low side, the high side will start to empty too, but want to make sure that we're about as empty as we can be. Okay, all right, yeah, we're about as good as we're gonna get. Now we are going to start with removing the serpentine belt so that we can start taking stuff apart. So we're gonna just come here. This is the belt tensioner, and I'm just gonna turn it a little bit, and I'm just gonna pull it right off the AC pulley like this. And now, when I release it, we're good to go. Pop that off. Okay, remove the harness here. Alright. We're not going to remove this, we don't have to. It's connected to the high and low side. There's another one right here, another sensor. Remove that. Now, from the looks of things, I think we're ready to remove it. I think these are 13s. Now remove this bracket too because I think it's in the way. First thing we're gonna do here is remove our AC line. Okay, good, that came out perfect. Okay, now up and out. Okay, just clean a little maintenance surface down, hit it with a wire brush. And I put a little bit of paper towels inside of here so no debris or anything can make its way inside of the system. Let's transfer over to our new pump and let's start doing what we got to do. Alright, so now we look at our two compressors. The mounts, everything looks identical. The actual clutch is different, but that's okay. Just going to show you guys. You can see all that liquid in there. That's where the seals busted out. Now, you see this sensor here, I'm going to have to pull this out. I have to pull this old sensor out and place it in here, okay? Now, one thing we're going to do here before I actually pull this out, usually these have a little bit of pressure in them. This is an important thing to have here. This little sticker here is going to tell you the information you're going to need, like how much fluid it takes, how much oil it needs. This compressor has 3 ounces of oil. It means I need to add 5 more ounces based on the information. This takes 8 ounces of oil, PAG 46. And then how much refrigerant it needs to fill it back up. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to remove this and see if the pressure releases so that we can try and pull this out. And we'll try to pull this out. There you go. Ooh, heard it. Alright, yeah, these were pressurized. Okay, cool. Now, with that pressure released, put that back so nothing falls in. And we're gonna try and remove these. Looks like they have a little like a locking clip in there. See if I can remove that. Pull this little locking clip out like that. Okay, good, she's coming out. And we're gonna clean this seal up. I'm gonna hit it with some brake clean and get back to you. And it's gonna go in here like this. And that came out beautiful. Gotta pull this out. She's out. Nice. And we have a gasket in here and it's wet, so I'm not gonna put any silicone or anything in it. Just going to try to see something like this. Just gonna pop right in. That's beautiful. Let's get the snap ring. Okay, if you have to use a flathead or use your fingers, and you'll see a ridge in there that it sits in, and that this will not move anymore. Okay. So now let's pull this off. Cool. I need to find out which side is low and which side is high. Give me a minute. Now we have, ooh, shit. This is PAG 100. I need PAG 46. Okay. This entire refrigerant system uses 8 ounces of PAG 46. That's what most cars take. Check your QR code and see what it takes. But this already has 3 ounces pre-charged. I'm just about. I'm gonna put it on the low pressure side. That's where I see most people put it. Some people do it while it's yeah, okay. Some people do this while they're refilling the refrigerant, so I figured it'd be safe to put it on the low pressure side. And it should spread. I'm gonna stop there. It's about close to 4 ounces. I don't want to fill it up completely because I'm sure probably the dryer has some oil in it too. And I'm gonna come down here and pull this out. And as you can see, that is the old seal. Just wipe around here. I know it's a bad angle, but I'm gonna replace this seal as well. Alright. Okay, I have some silicone paste I like to put on the seals, help them seal up good, nice and snug. Lubricate the gasket. You don't really want it to go on dry. Some people use some refrigerant, but yeah, if you let it go on dry, it could not seal properly. So now that we have that, I'm gonna get the compressor on. Let me put that right there. If your bolts are nasty, clean them up. I'm gonna put a little bit of low strength thread locker on these. I'm gonna tighten them all down, kind of like how you tighten down a wheel. Don't go all the way in on one side. A little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit there. For this compressor, it says it gets torqued to 40 foot-pounds. Nice. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna pull this seal off. Pull these out. I can visually see that we still have our seals in. And now I'm gonna lay it in there like that. And a little bit of thread locker. Just gonna tighten these down. These do have a specific torque spec. You wanna make sure these are pretty damn snug. Start this to about 25 foot-pounds. That's good. Reinstall our sensor here. Actually, didn't think too hard about that one. Of course, I should have wanted the sensor to face upwards, right? Wasn't the smartest idea by me. There you go. That's in. Like I said, I should have faced it up. I didn't think about that, but don't be like me. And this sensor here snaps in just like that. Now I just got to put the belt back on. Okay, I think this AC condenser is a little bit bigger, but that's fine. All in, make sure everything's wrapped around. Now we can hook up our gauges and prepare ourselves for the recharge. Okay, I have my gauges here. This is the R134A. Got my low side, my high side. Low side goes here. And we have our high side here. Come through and lock it down. It's tight down there. Okay, now you got to get yourself cans of refrigerant. Try not to get, anytime you install a new compressor, try not to get the stop leak stuff. It can hurt your AC performance a little bit. Try to just get straight refrigerant. For this car, I think in the description it said it needs like 30 or 32 ounces. These are 12-inch cans, so 12, 24, 36. So you can weigh it. And oh, I gotta change the units. Grams, ounces. Alright, so including the can, we're at about 15 ounces, okay? So we can measure how much is coming in. The can weighs about 3 ounces. We have about 12. We can keep an eye on our weight so we know how much is in here. Also, we'll visually see what's in here. So we have our blue, which is our low, connected to the low. Our red connected to the high. This, you open this up to get a reading. We open this up to get a reading. We do not open either one of these. You don't even touch this. You always leave this closed. We're at about 10. I did put a little bit in here to try to see something. That closed. Now what you are going to need is a can tap. I didn't have this on me at the time. Attach this, spin this on, then you spin this on, and when you turn this can, what it'll do is it'll puncture it, and then refrigerant should come up here. So let's see something real fast. I'm going to puncture it. I just heard it. Alright. Keep running. We are going to turn our AC on. We have it right here on the cold, and we're gonna turn it up pretty high like that, and let's start getting ready to get our refrigerant inside the system. And you want the air coming straight through. You want it nice, nice and cold. Good. Pretty almost high fan speed. All right, and let's get my needle to check the temperature. And this looks like we're at about 85 degrees right now. Let's come back to it when the AC compressor comes on. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to open up the low pressure side. There we go. And we're sucking it in. One thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to let out just a little bit. Oh, the clutch came on. Hold on. Alright. We are increasing our pressure. Our clutch is coming on. We just gotta let it keep going its thing. Let it build its pressure up. And once the pressure is where it needs to be, it will finally stay on. Trying to keep the can upright. You don't really want to turn it completely upside down. What can happen is if you turn it completely upside down, the liquid in here can get into the system, and it could kind of like freeze it up. So we're not going to do that. I got my body in front of it. You don't want to leave it in direct sunlight either. I'm probably going to get a hook because the coolant pipe is right here. This gets hot kind of fast. I don't want these hoses sitting on it. And I don't know if you guys can see that, but I'm going to shake the can a little bit. And you see that fluid coming in? That's how you can kind of see if you still have refrigerant in here. It's getting closer to empty. We just got to keep letting it work. I'll get back to you when I'm about to change the pump. When I'm going to change the can. This can is starting to seem like it's empty. I'm going to close it right now. I'm going to seal the system. Just like that. Good. Alright, let's see how much is in here. Yep, this can is empty. Good. Alright. I'm going to transfer this over to the new can. Alright. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to loosen this up like so. Like that. I'm going to twist this knob off. So with the nipple, with the tap not punctured in, we don't want this stuff to start leaking out as soon as we put it on. Matter of fact, let's come to it. Yeah, it doesn't move anymore. That's good. Spin it on. We're gonna need close to like 3 cans of this stuff. I think it said around 30 ounces. These are 12-ounce cans, so pretty close. Alright, so with the can on here, we're at about 18 ounces. So now we kind of got an idea. I mean, it's only 12 ounces in the can. We need to subtract about, what, 6 ounces from the weight of everything. So we know when this gets down to about 6 ounces, this is almost it. We're reattached, nice and tight. And we're going to puncture this can. And I just heard it get punctured. When we open this, we should see this fill with fluid. Okay, I think I finally hit a point where the compressor is no longer turning off. It's consistently staying on now. We're at about 25 psi so far, and we're just gonna keep working it. Like I said, you turn it to the side a little bit, help it recharge a little quicker. Only to the side. Don't completely turn it upside down. You don't want all the liquid getting into the system. Let's go inside the car and see what our temperature is looking like. Okay, that's a safe spot. It's not touching anything. And just to show you guys our temperature, we are at 50 degrees. That is nice and cold. We went from about 85, 90. We're all the way down to about 50. We're doing very good here, you guys. It means our compressor is doing what it needs to do. Just gonna keep letting this run with the amount of fluid that we need in there. I will say, because the size of the can, if we're not perfect, that's all right. I'd rather be a little bit underfilled than a little bit overfilled. If you overfill too much refrigerant, you can damage the system. So if it's a little bit under, that's okay. Just something I wanted to mention on the high side. I know the high side isn't really that important, but you want to stay between like 150 and like 175. You don't really want to see it exceed 200 psi. So we're kind of looking good where we're at. We're about 155 right there. And we're at about 20, almost 25 psi. We're doing good here at a whopping, I want to say about 45 degrees Fahrenheit. That is beautiful. That is nice and cold. He's going to be very happy. Alright, so now we're going to turn this off. We're going to take it off the max. Never want to leave anything on max. And we are going to, and now we're going to turn the truck off. Good. And what we're gonna do here, oh, if you notice that the PSI goes higher, the compressor's off, so don't be alarmed by that. We'll cut this off. We'll close this valve here. That's closed. Excellent. Close this off here. Everything is closed. Start popping these out. Nice. And I can start unhooking everything. I'm gonna get my caps on. And there's one thing I think I did not do when I poured the PAG oil in there. I didn't actually like turn the compressor to like spread the oil around. It's not the end of the world, but when you put the oil in there, spin the compressor to kind of circulate the oil. I forgot to do that. Okay. A couple things you did not see me do here. Number one, make sure you take it to a place to recycle the refrigerant. You're not supposed to vent this stuff to atmosphere. I believe that's even illegal. Number two, one thing you didn't see me do is I did not put a vacuum on the system, all right? Technically, when you replace the compressor, you're supposed to replace the dryer as well. And then when you replace all that stuff, what you're supposed to do is put a vacuum on here. It's like a vacuum that goes where the refrigerant attachment is. And the vacuum will pull any liquid out of the system for about 20 minutes to an hour, I think. You want to make sure it holds pressure. This is an older truck, so we didn't care about that kind of stuff today. But this is kind of a cheaper way of going about it, I guess. But just like that, you guys, we're all filled up here. We're at our capacity. Truck runs great. The AC is cold. I hope this helps you guys out. Thanks for watching. Till next time, out.